There is one thing that women fall in love with in men, and it has nothing to do with how good looking they are or how much money they make. In fact, very few men actually know what this thing is, and even fewer still actually have it. But if you know what it is, then you become irresistible to women. It's not something that you can buy, although women will pretend like it is so that they can get more of it from you. It's not something that you can fake, although men will try to fake it all the time by acting overly confident. And it's certainly not something that you're born with, although some men are lucky enough to be born with high amounts of it. Most men need to develop it, but don't know how. So I'm going to tell you exactly what it is and how to get it. You see, when most men think about attracting women, they're thinking about it all wrong. They think that it's about impressing her. They think that they need to buy her things or take her to nice places or do nice things for her or look good or smell good. All of these things are just ways to show her that you have value, but they're not the actual value itself. They're just ways to demonstrate it. So let me ask you a question. Would you rather date a man who made $100,000 a year and drove a Ferrari, or a man who made $40,000 a year but drove a pickup truck? Most women would say they don't care and that they do rather date a man based off his character. But the truth is that both of these women would be lying to themselves. You see, deep down inside, women are biologically programmed to want a man who has more value than them. They won't admit it because that sounds shallow, but it's the absolute God's honest truth. The reason why women won't admit it is because they believe that men should be egalitarian, that men and women are equal. But we were never meant to be equal. We were meant to be partners, and a partnership is not equal. A partnership is where each person brings something different to the table. And so the woman who says she doesn't care about money is really saying that she cares about something else that is of high value to her. Now, if you want to find out what that is, you need to appeal to different things and see how she reacts. You appeal to her different interests and see which ones evoke the strongest emotions. Because whatever that thing is that evokes the strongest emotions in her is also the thing that she subconsciously believes to be of highest value. For example, maybe you appeal to her interest in animals and you talk to her about how you volunteer at an animal shelter. If she gets really excited about that and starts telling you how much she loves animals, then that's probably something that's important to her. Or maybe you appeal to her interest in travel and you ask her what her dream destination is. If she lights up and starts telling you all about this amazing place that she wants to visit, then that's probably something that's important to her. This is a game that you can play with any girl that you want to figure out what she places high importance on. Once you figure that out, then you can start appealing to that more. And by appealing to it more, you'll naturally seem like a man of higher value, even if you don't actually possess those things yet. For example, if you learn that she really likes traveling, then you can start bringing up your own desire to travel and see the world. You can start planning trips and adventures. You can share with her your thoughts about visiting certain places and experiencing new cultures. By doing this, you'll paint the picture of a man who is open-minded, adventurous, and curious, which are all traits that are associated with a man of high value. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that none of this is fair, that there is no reason why women should be allowed to place men on a pedestal and treat them like they are better than them, and I agree with you. It's not fair, but the fact of the matter is that women do it anyway. So you have two choices. Either complain about it and do nothing, or accept it and make it work for you. You see, life is not fair. And if you're waiting around for it to be fair, then you're going to end up being one of those guys who spends his whole life hating other guys for having more money or a nicer car or a better job. And none of that is going to change until you change. The second thing that women fall in love with in men is confidence. Now, most men think that confidence is all about being tall and muscular and having a deep voice. But that's not what confidence is at all. True confidence comes from within. It comes from knowing your worth, knowing your strengths, and accepting your weaknesses. You see, everyone can fake being tall, muscular, or having a deep voice, but they can't fake true confidence. You may be wondering how you can possibly do that when you reach short or skinny or have a high-pitched voice. Well, the answer is simple. You need to work on building yourself up in every single way. You need to lift weights to become stronger. You need to read books to become smarter. You need to talk to more people to become more charismatic. You need to spend time alone to become more comfortable with yourself. Once you start working on all of these different aspects of yourself, then you'll start feeling better about yourself. And when you feel better about yourself, then your confidence will shine through and women will notice it. The third thing that women fall in love with in men is ambition. Now, most men think that ambition is all about climbing the corporate ladder and making as much money as possible. But that's not what ambition is at all. True ambition is about striving to be the best version of yourself that you can be. It's about setting goals and working towards achieving them, no matter what they are. Maybe your goal is to read 100 books in a year. Maybe your goal is to run a marathon. Maybe your goal is to start your own business. Whatever your goals are, the most important thing is that you have them and that you're actively working towards achieving them. When women see a man with ambition, they see a man who is driven, motivated, and focused. They see a man who is constantly improving and evolving, and they can't help but respect that. So if you want to attract more women, then don't just sit around and wait for them to come to you. Put in the work, improve yourself, and become the best version of yourself that you can be. Women are attracted to ambitious men, so don't settle for mediocrity. Strive for greatness. And finally, the fourth thing that women fall in love with in men is kindness. Now, most men think that being kind is the same as being a pushover, but that's not what being kind is at all. Being kind is about treating others the way you want to be treated. It's about showing compassion and empathy and understanding. Being kind is not being weak. In fact, it takes a strong person to be kind because it means putting the needs of others before your own. Women are attracted to men who are kind because they know that they can rely on them. They know that they can count on them to be there for them, to support them, and to love them unconditionally. So if you want to attract more women, then don't just focus on yourself. Think about others. Be selfless and put their needs before your own. Women are attracted to selfless men, so don't be afraid to show your kindness. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love. Until next time.